General Hospital fans are troubled over actress Nancy Lee Grahn and her mental health. That's because it seems like a day doesn't go by that she doesn't have something negative to say about President-elect Donald Trump. In fact, there are even a lot of people who are concerned that Nancy is going to live in a state of completely negativity and stress seeing how Trump is going to be the president of the United States for the next 4 years. Because Nancy refuses to go back on X, she even took to Threads to share some of her most recent thoughts about Donald Trump and his incoming administration. She said, "When a country elects 3 sociopaths, Trump, his sugar daddy Elon, and the Harvard hillbilly, to lead a nation, it would be illogical to expect any of them to have any empathy for anyone or anything that opposes them, including California." This is not the first time that Nancy has taken a swipe at Trump, nor will it be the last. Needless to say, the internet certainly does have a lot to say about Nancy Lee Grahn and her behavior on social media. Some have even commented with, "Nancy Grahn needs to be fired. She's bringing the wrong kind of publicity to the show. Way too much hate." Another critic wrote, "She has every right to speak her truth. But so does everyone else, which is what she can't seem to understand." And then there was this comment as well. "Nancy has always been very opinionated. At times I dislike her many comments. She really needs to take a look in the mirror. I quit following her back in 2020 during the COVID pandemic. I couldn't take her obnoxious comments." So far, Nancy Lee Grahn herself has not made any comments about the matter, although at this point it's doubtful that anything will be said. General Hospital spoilers and updates tease in a special sneak peek video that Michael Corinthos does indeed survive the Digitalis injection from Cyrus Renault. Isaiah Gannon takes a gamble and administers a Digitalis antidote as Portia Robinson asks Brad Cooper to check patient records. The search for the Digitalis killer begins. Nurses burst into Michael's room, urgency etched on their faces. One of them quickly checks the leads as the heart monitor blares an alarming sound. "Page Dr. Gannon and Dr. Jones," she shouts. While one nurse remains at Michael's side, desperately trying to restore his sinus rhythm, the other darts out in search of Isaiah and Lucas Jones. They rush back into the room, and Isaiah urgently informs Lucas he's experiencing runs of VTach, a dangerous condition where the heart's lower chambers race uncontrollably. Lucas realizes the gravity of the situation. He's slipping into full cardiac arrest. "We need to act fast before we have to shock him." Isaiah responds, "Let's start a lidocaine drip." The nurse nods, "Yes, doctor," while Lucas adds, "Good call. Let's just hope it's enough." In the hallway, Portia Robinson sees Brad Cooper and walks over to him, saying she has been looking for him. He tells her he has already gotten his tickets for the Miami conference that he and Lucas were supposed to go to together. He feels frustrated and insists that everything is approved and he is ready for the trip. Portia tells him that this issue is much more urgent. With a sigh, Brad asks what she wants him to be responsible for this time. Portia replies that his ability to bend the rules might actually help her. She asks him to look up every patient who has had a heart issue in the last 3 months. Brad raises an eyebrow, pointing out that it's a wide search, and asks if there are any specific details to consider. Portia agrees and asks him to check for Digitalis in their system and see if that patient was given that medication. Confused, Brad asks why he needs to do that. Portia tells him that despite her doubts, she is trusting him with this. Will she regret it? Brad assures her no and encourages her to continue, saying it sounds important. Portia, looking a bit worried, explains that there have been 2 recent deaths from Digitalis overdoses, and possibly a third, pending the autopsy results. She wants him to investigate if there are more cases or any unnoticed patterns. Brad responds that if people are dying mysteriously in the hospital, he wants to help and will take on the task. Portia thanks him and instructs him to report the findings directly to her, wanting to keep legal out of it for now. Brad nods and confirms she can rely on him. In Michael's room, Lucas is frantic and tells Isaiah that the lidocaine drip isn't working. Isaiah suggests trying something else and asks the nurse to quickly bring 20 vials of digoxin. The nurse responds immediately and goes to fetch them. Lucas realizes that this is an antidote for digitalis and worries about the risks. Lucas questions what will happen if they make a mistake. Isaiah responds that Michael will die either way, whether the medication fails or they do nothing. He believes they must act. Isaiah instructs to remove all IV lines and send them for lab analysis, then injects the digitalis antidote directly into Michael's vein through the bandages, impatiently saying, "Come on, come on, come on." General Hospital spoilers. Michael is saved. Isaiah urges a police investigation. Later, he steps into the hallway to inform Portia about the situation that just happened. Michael Corinthos nearly went into cardiac arrest. Portia, wait, what do you mean, just now? He explains the lidocaine drip wasn't working, so he took a chance and administered the digitalis antidote. Portia responds to the name of the med, confirms that it counteracts digitalis. Isaiah confirms the antidote worked almost immediately and Michael's stable. Portia is glad he got to Michael right away and starts to talk about ordering security footage. Isaiah says he already did, but they found nothing. The General Hospital spoilers reveal that Sasha Gilmore Corbin finally has a chance to be a mother, but the timing is terrible since Michael Corinthos is exiting the show. This would have been a great opportunity for Sasha and Michael to come back together as a real couple, but that's not going to happen, at least not right now. The door is being left open for Chad Duell to return as Michael, but there are currently no plans to recast. With Michael heading off canvas for the foreseeable future, there's room for a rewrite if that's the way the show wants to take things. Could there be a paternity twist brewing as a result? It's not like Sasha's had a DNA test to prove anything, not that DNA results matter much anyway on soaps. We've only got Sasha's word for it that Michael is her baby's father, but what if she ultimately remembers hooking up with someone else as well? It'd be easy for the show to include a new false flashback that reveals Sasha slept with another man who might be the baby daddy instead. Chad Duell even raised this possibility on a recent episode of the Daily Drama podcast and suggested it'd be interesting if it came out that Sasha slept with Jason Morgan too. Steve Burton didn't like that idea, but there's no denying that it'd bring another layer of drama. Michael will likely ask Jason to watch over pregnant Sasha while he's recovering elsewhere, so paternity rewrite would be intriguing if it's Jason's baby instead. Then again, maybe another father candidate could still be out there. They could introduce a hunky new character to the canvas if Sasha eventually remembers a second drunken hookup. What if Michael wasn't the only guy Sasha fell into bed with around the time of the baby's conception? Whatever the case, Michael is gearing up for his exit, so we wouldn't hold it against GH writers if they decided to rework the story and introduce another father possibility for Sasha's unborn child. It could take the story in a brand new direction, so maybe some writing updates could get underway. ABC General recently revealed that actor Bradford Anderson has shared a new obsession related to the emotional developments in General Hospital. His revelation not only sheds light on the simmering tensions, but also propels the storyline to a new, unexpected climax. Anderson, who plays Damian Spinelli, suggested that the loss of Monica could become a major turning point, especially when her son Jason receives this shocking news. This event will not only deeply affect Jason, but also lay the groundwork for a new series of haunting events, where dangerous calculations by the characters begin to emerge. Jason, already burdened by family conflicts and personal responsibilities, now faces the shock of Monica's passing. This grief not only pushes him into an unstable state, but also brings back memories and haunting thoughts from the past, forcing Jason to make difficult decisions as he tries to balance seeking justice for Monica while facing the threats looming in Port Charles. Meanwhile, new plots and schemes begin to surface as Monica's death creates a power vacuum within the Ꭰꭼꭼꭼ family. Underground forces, including dangerous figures like Cyrus, may seize this opportunity to advance their plans, making the situation in Port Charles even more tense. Bradford Anderson's revelations not only pique curiosity but also signal that the story will grow increasingly complex with unpredictable twists. The combination of personal pain and power struggles draws all the characters into an unavoidable whirlpool. Can Jason overcome his obsession to uncover the truth, or will he become entangled in a cycle of plots and conflicts? The upcoming developments promise a story full of emotion and intensity in Port Charles. ABCGH Christina is spiraling into a state of panic as the ongoing losses in her family weigh heavily on her. The painful death of Sam and the critical condition leading to Michael's death have plunged her into a deep, desperate abyss where grief and rage blend into an emotional storm with no way out. Each time she loses a loved one, Christina feels as though the entire world is against her, driving her to become obsessed with the thought that justice must be served, and those responsible for these tragedies must pay the price. Her mind is now consumed by hatred and a thirst for revenge. These tragic events not only break her heart, but also push her down a dangerous path toward violent action. The relentless panic has made her more determined to uncover the person behind it all, even if it means resorting to the most ruthless measures. She no longer cares who is a friend or an enemy, as long as she feels that she is regaining control in a world where everything seems to be collapsing around her. Christina's story is not just about the pain of enduring loss, but also a warning about how hatred can transform a person into someone unrecognizable to themselves. The suffering has turned her into a woman with a fractured mind, willing to do anything to achieve her goal of revenge, even if it means losing everything she has left. The next developments promise to lead Christina to make dangerous choices where the line between justice and destruction becomes increasingly blurred. Christina remains steadfast in her resolve not to kill anyone, but the series of events unfolding has pushed her into a position filled with pressure and contradiction. As the world around her grows increasingly chaotic, Christina realizes that she can no longer stand on the sidelines. One prominent trait shaping her now is her determination to seek an alternative to the power and legacy Sonny left behind, but not through the path of violence and bloodshed that her father chose. Christina, with her strong but emotional character, is facing a series of tough decisions. As the threats grow, she begins to understand that power is not only about control, but also about responsibility and influence. She wants to forge a new path, one where she can protect her family without recreating the vicious cycle of violence that has haunted the Ꭰꭼꭼ family. However, the recent burst of events does not allow Christina much time to think. The pressures from both outside and within the family continuously push her to make quick decisions, forcing her to confront whether she has the strength and willpower to replace Sonny, but on her own terms. Christina is walking a fine line between maintaining her ideals and confronting the harsh reality of power in Port Charles. The upcoming developments promise to bring much tension as Christina struggles to hold on to her self-belief. Can she find a way to balance protecting her family while building a new legacy without being swept into the brutal power struggles? Or will she be forced to face choices that lead her further away from the path she always hoped for? Sometimes you think you know everything there is to know about your favorite daytime television until you realize there is so much more you can learn about them. One of those people happens to be General Hospital star Kirsten Storms. The actress, who is best known for her role as Maxie Jones on the hit ABC soap, has experienced a roller coaster of events throughout the years because of her health. But that hasn't stopped her from being the best daytime television star and mom she can be. During the very tail end of 2023, General Hospital fans were surprised to find out that Kirsten Storms was temporarily replaced on the show. Luckily, she came back within no time, but a lot of fans couldn't help but wonder why Kirsten took her break. Some suggested that it was because of her mental health. But then again, Kirsten has been very open about all of the complications that she's experienced ever since she had brain surgery in 2021. She had a very large cyst removed, and said thankfully she stopped feeling all the constant pressure in her head and recurring headaches. Buy vitamins and supplements. Kirsten said at the time that the procedure was more painful than I expected. I guess I thought that because I was getting my stitches out, my incision was mostly healed, and it wasn't going to feel like anything. That was wrong. Even now, while I'm talking, I can feel the tightness in the back of my head and neck is very, very tight and hard feeling. General Hospital. What's next for Kirsten Storms? The actress hasn't made any additional comments about her health since then, but that doesn't mean fans aren't worried. Kirsten has also faced a lot of online bullying and criticism for her appearance on General Hospital. Some fans believe that she simply needed a break at the end of 2023 to do a much-needed reset for the new year, and they might be right. Tell us, what do you think of this story? The General sees a significant change in the emergency room as Ꭰꭼꭼ:a<silence> discovers and uses an antidote for Digitalis, a pivotal moment in saving Michael Carino's life. This bold decision not only gives hope to Michael's family, but also sparks a new wave of tension throughout the hospital. Although the antidote works almost instantly, saving Michael from critical condition, it raises concerns about the potential consequences if the mastermind behind this plot continues to act. Ꭰꭼ success in dealing with Michael's perilous situation is not just a medical triumph, but also a warning that things are becoming more complicated than ever. Michael is saved, but this only intensifies the focus on the investigation into the Digitalis murderer, placing everyone at the hospital on high alert. Ꭰꭼ, despite saving his patient, knows this is only the beginning of a series of new disasters if the perpetrator is not stopped. The story of Digitalis doesn't just end with Michael's survival. It opens a new tangled and dramatic chapter in Port Charles. Will this antidote be enough to stop future schemes, or will the hospital continue to be haunted by deadly attacks? The upcoming developments will not only focus on protecting Michael, but also intensify the hunt for the killer as everyone faces an increasingly dangerous disaster. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.